Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Hayati binti Mazan and I'm from class BA 2422C. Would like to present on the last assignments on the subject of FIN 534 for Madam Nur Hayati. Today I would like to talk about my business. On the products that I want to sell is banana chips. Banana chips, the reason why I want to sell the banana chips is my mother really likes to eat chips, especially on bananas. So I thought that this can be one of the reason I want to make this business for my own. And first I will talk the assumption of the unit price per kg. Unit price per kg, I assume in 28 ringgit, although the competitor price or the price in the market is at range 24 ringgit to 37 ringgit. For me, the 28 ringgit is the best price for me to put for my banana chips. And next is worst scenario for unit price per kg, which is 26 ringgit. 26 ringgit is for me is the worst price that I can put for my banana chip if there is problem with my employer, suppliers, or maybe there is a problem with the bananas. Maybe there is not enough stocks or other reason that can lead me to put it at 26 ringgit for per kg for my products. As for the unit cost is at 13 ringgit 11 cents. Where can I gain the 30 ringgit 11 cents is the variable cost divided with the production volume. The variable cost is where I can gain from the variable cost on the cooking banana, or we can call it as pisang tanduk, cooking oil, salt, gas, plastic packaging, labor. As for the labor, I think that the best number for me to employ my workers is at 3 people, which is at 900 per month for them. And next is electricity and water supply, and all the total variable cost is at 7,866 ringgit. And from the 7,866 ringgit, we will divide it with the production volume for us to gain the unit cost per unit. And next is the fixed cost. The fixed cost is my rent. For me, 450, I can gain 450 rent if my business is at the village or the place that not many people, for not many people such as village. For me, village people is the best location for me to make banana chips. And next is one-off cost. As for one-off cost, this is the cost that I gather for me to make the banana chips, such as grater, cooking pan, cooking heart, food filter, gas kitchen, food container, and plastic sealer. And the total is at 306 ringgit. 309 ringgit, we can use it. The reason 309 ringgit is one-off cost is the equipment we purchase is only a one times, and it can be used for a long time. As long as it's not damaged, it can be used further. Next is my production volume. My production volume is at best scenario is 600 units, and 600 units is for me is the best production that I can gain for a month. As for the production volume for worst scenario is at 300 units. 300 units is maybe there is a problem such as on my employees or problem on the stocks that I only produce on 300 units for a month. As for the inventory level, for me, I thought that 250 is the best unit for me to put as on my inventory if there is a problem with my stocks, such as the damage on the banana chips, or the customer is not satisfied with my product. then I can change it with my inventory that I keep. Next is the demand for the best scenario. For me, 450 unit is the best demand for people. The reason why is many people likes to eat banana chips. So I thought that 450 is the most demand that I think that the best for my assumptions. As for the demand for worst scenario is 150. The reason why I put 150, there is may have a problems to the customers that do may less their consuming and more saving. So I thought that 150 unit is the best essential for me to put on the demand on worst scenario. Next is number of days per month is 30 days. As for the number of days for me to work is 6 days a week and the total is 24 days per month. As for the number of days selling season at discount price is 4 days. 4 days is 2 days for the discount clearance sales and the 2 days is discount for the intermediate sales. So 2 days is divided by 2, so 2 days for clearance sales, 2 days for intermediate sales. And next is number of days for full retail is at 20 days. And the discount rate for clearance sale for me is 50% is best clearance discounts that I can give for my customers. And for the discounts rate for the intermediate sales is on 25% to 50%. As for the cost, if purchased from the supplier is at 30 ringgit. This this 30 ringgit can be a reason for me to purchase from the supplier if there is problem with my business. As for the revenue for best scenario is on 13,000 ringgit and the profit is at 7,000 ringgit. For me, this is the best achieve I can gain for a month for a new business to survive. As for the revenue worst scenario is at 3,000 ringgit and for the profit is on 1,500 ringgit. Next is we run a profit model best scenario for us to see if we can gain our target revenue and our target profit based on our assumption. First the data that we insert on the profit model for the best scenario, which is based on our assumption the unit price is at 28 ringgit, unit cost is at 13 ringgit 11 cents, fixed cost is at 450 ringgit, one-off cost is at 309 ringgit, and next is the demand is on 450 units. As for the model, if we want to gain the revenue, unit price must be multiple with the quantity sold for us to gain the revenue on the model, which is 12,600 ringgit. Although our target is based on the assumption is at 13,000 ringgit, and we can see that we cannot achieve the target. And next is our variable cost, which is for us to gain the variable cost is unit cost must be multiple with the quantity produced for us to gain the variable cost on 7,866 ringgit. And next is the fixed cost based on the assumption is 450 ringgit. And for us to gain the profit, revenue must be minus with the variable cost and next with the fixed cost, and for us to gain the profit in 4,284 ringgit. And it also was not achieve our target on the assumption, which is 7,000 ringgit for our profit. So what we must do if we want to achieve the target is make a one-way table and or two-way table that can lead us to the target that we want to achieve. Next is we made a one-way table for us to see, for us to know which price is we can change for us to gain the target that we want for our revenue and our profit. We use a what if analysis on data table, and then only input the column into the price, which is the unit price, and then there were changes in this profit and revenue. As you can see, we can gain our revenue if the price is at 29, but the profit is not achieved yet. If we want to achieve the revenue and the profit, we have to put our price up to 35 ringgit. So it was impossible for us to do so due to the price is way too high for us to charge to the customer. Next is we made a two-way table, which is between the price and the quantity produced. The price is as the same between the 25 ringgit to 35 ringgit range, and this is our profit, which is our current profit based on the profit model. And next is our quantity produced is between 450 to 570 units. And we have run a what if analysis on the data table, and it shows that on 30 ringgit we can gain our profit up to 7,150 ringgit and 50 cent. With the quantity produced we remain as 450 units. As for the two-way table, I run a second for me to show for me to know whether there is other way for me to increase my profit, which is on the price and the unit cost. The price is still the same, between 25 to 35 ringgit, and I changed the unit cost between 10 ringgit to 13 ringgit, and it shows that on the price of 30 ringgit I can gain 7,050 ringgit of my profit, but I need to reduce my unit cost up to 10 ringgit. So for me it's impossible due to I am new to my business. 10 ringgit is not suitable for me to gain from the supplier of my product. So the best way for me to revise my profit model is on the two-way table between the price and the quantity produced, which is the price is 30 ringgit and the quantity produced remain in 450 units, and which is unit price per kg base scenario revised based on the mode of base scenario is at 30 ringgit, and that's all for me to change on the revise, and it still the remains on the 450 for the demands, so I don't need to change anything, only the unit price per kg. Next is on the profit model for worst scenario. Worst scenario is happen if there is problem with my company, such as not enough stock, my employee is not feeling well, there is problem with my suppliers. So I thought that the profit model worst scenario is for me to think if there is a worst happen in my company, and the worst production that I can get if there is something bad happen to my company. And this is the data is based on the assumption, which is you can see that my unit price per kg, I have set the worst scenario is how many, which is 36 ringgit, and for the production volume for my worst scenario is at 300 units. My demand for worst scenario is at 150, while my revenue is at 3,000 ringgit for the worst scenario, and lastly is my profit worst scenario is at 1,500 ringgit. And this data is will insert in here, which is the unit price is at 26 ringgit, the unit cost is at 13 ringgit 11 cents, which is same with the profit model for best scenario. As for the fixed cost is at 450 ringgit, and one-off cost is the same with assumption we say 309 ringgit, and the demand is at 150. First, I will run the model, which is the unit price is at 26 ringgit. The quantity sold is at 150 unit. As for the revenue is between the unit price multiple with the quantity sold. So the unit revenue is at 3,900. It shows that it exceeds my expectation, which is my expectation is 3,000 ringgit. So for it is exceed my expect. So as for the variable cost, for me to gain the variable cost is between the unit cost multiple with the quantity produced, which is 3,933 ringgit. As for the fixed cost is the same, which is 450 ringgit. And for the profit is at negative 483 ringgit. This is after I divide, I minus the revenue, the variable cost, and the fixed cost. So the total profit that I can gain for the worst model scenario is at negative 483 ringgit. This is not achieve my target, which is 1,500 ringgit. Sorry. Next is one-way table for me to see whether which price for me to gain for which price for me to get and achieve my target on revenue and profit. We know that my revenue is achieved, so we want to see which price is can we get for us to achieve our profit, which is the same is we run a what if analysis on the data table, and then it shows that on our revenue we can achieve more up to 4,800 ringgit on the 32 ringgit, but we still do not achieve our target on 1,500 ringgit on our profit. You can see that it's getting better, but is do not achieve our target on 1,500 ringgit. Next, I have to do two-way table for me to see which way that I can which method that I can achieve my target on 1,500 ringgit on my profit, which is the between the price and the unit cost. And this is our profit on our worst profit model, which is negative 482 ringgit. And next is my unit cost is between 10 ringgit to 15 ringgit, and our price is between 24 to 32 ringgit. From this we see that there is no profit that we achieve for my target, and this the highest is at 10 unit cost 1,350, but it still do not achieve my 1,500. So I run a next two-way table for me to know which if I can get my target, which is two-way table between demand and unit cost. As you can see, the demand is between 150 to 280 of my demands, and my unit cost is between 10 to 15 ringgit of my unit cost. And I have run my as usual what if analysis on the data table, and it shows that on the demand 220, I can gain 1,670 ringgit of my profit, but the unit cost is at 12 ringgit. While if I raise my demand up to 230 unit, the price the profit is at 1,630 ringgit, but the unit cost is at 13 ringgit. And I want to know other way for me to raise my profit, achieve my profit, which is I run a last two-way table, which is between the price and the demand, which is the price is at between 24 ringgit to 32 ringgit, and the demand is between 150 unit up to 280 units, and it shows that the price at 27 ringgit, I can gain my achievement on 1,557 ringgit with the demand only 220 ringgit. For me, I think I can raise my demands due to although there is I am in worst scenario, I think that maybe I can attract my customer more with a variety of advertisement, and for me to raise a demand I can achieve. So I thought that this is the best way for me for the worst scenario by only increase the price up to 27 ringgit and the demands up to 220 units. So I changed my assumption on the revised based on profit model worst scenario is unit price per kg before this is at 26 ringgit, but I revised it up to 27 ringgit, while the demand is I raised up to 220 units. So I think this is the better way for me to meet when I'm on the current worst scenario. Next is markdown pricing model. All the data is based from the assumption of the first cell. First is the retail price is at 28 ringgit. Next is the inventory. The inventory is at 250 unit per month. As for the selling season days is at 4 days, and the days at full retail is at 20 days based on the assumptions. And as for the intermediate markdown is at 25%, and the clearance markdown is at 50%. Next is the sales of data. The first price is at the retail price, which is 28 ringgit, and the second price is at 21 is after the retail price is been discounted with the intermediate markdown, which is 25%. Next is the average daily sales is at 20 ringgit. For me, average daily sales is when the number of unit that I sell is at 28 ringgit. I think that my daily sale is at RM 20 ringgit. Due to I am a new in this business, so I expected that I can gain in 20 ringgit for a day. Next is average daily sale at the discounted price. I expected that my price is increased up to 15%. This is due to I think that while I at the discounted price at RM 21 ringgit, I thought that my daily sale will increase up to 23 ringgit with 15%, due to I thought that my people or my customer will love it and purchase it more due to the discounted price that I give. Next is demand financial parameter. On the intercept, we can see that it is 32. The intercept is show that if anything happen on the price, my sell might at RM 32 ringgit. As for the slope, if I increase my price or if I increase my retail price or my discount price, it may lead my price, my daily sale reduced to up to 40 cent for 0.42857 cents. So I need to be careful when I increase my retail price and discounted price. Next is model. Next is model. The model if first is full retail sales. I am operating for 20 days and my discount sale is at 4 days. With the discount sale is I put in 2 days and my clearance sale is for 2 days also. As for the full retail sales, the retail price is the same is with the assumption and the data for above. As for the daily sales is at the 20 ringgit, also the same as the data at the above. As for the days of retail price is at 20 days. This is based for my assumption that I operated is 20 days due to 4 days is for my discounted days. And next is the unit sold of retail is Unit sold at retail is when the daily sale is multiple with the days at a retail price. So the unit sold at retail is at 400 units. As for the retail revenue, is at RM 11,200. Is at after the retail price. Is after the retail price. The unit sold at retail divided with multiple with the retail price. So the total retail revenue is at 11,200. Next is discount sale. The discount is at 25%. It seems as the assumption and the detail of data above, which is 25% is are given for a day, for 2 days, and for the discount price is seems at research at the data above, which is 21 ringgit after the discounted rate at 25%. As for the daily sales is at 23 ringgit, which is when the intercept is plus with the slope and then multiple with the discount price. So the total of daily sales is at 23 ringgit. Next is the new unit sold. The unit sold is the minimum between the daily sales. Selling season, days at full retail. And next is inventory and units sold. So the unit sold is at negative 368 ringgit. 368 unit. The discount revenue is at negative 7,728 ringgit. Based on the volume for the inventory, is at 250 units, which is and the daily sale and the volume of daily sale is at 23 ringgit. So it shows that the discount revenue is at the lower in negative 7,728 ringgit. Next is clearance sales. The clearance price is after the discounts of 50%. From the above, clearance is on the clearance markdown. So the clearance price is at 14 ringgit. As for the unit sold of clearance, the maximum is between the inventory, the unit sold at retail, the unit sold at the discount sale. So the maximum between these three method is at 218 units. As for the clearance revenue is at 3,052 ringgit. This is after multiple between clearance price and the unit sold. Next is the total revenue. As for the total revenue is after the three revenue is been plus with which is the retail revenue plus with the discount revenue plus with the clearance revenue. So the total revenue is at 6,524 ringgit. Okay, based for the three models, which is for retail sales, discount sales, and clearance sales, it shows that the discount rate is not suitable for me to change. If the discount rate is at 25%, my discount revenue is at negative with negative 7,728 ringgit. So it shows that it's not a good result for me to put 25% at my discount sales, while my clearance sale is at a positive value. When my clearance price is when the discounted price of 15% happen, and my clearance revenue is at 3,052 ringgit in 2 days. For me to know the best discount for me to charge for my business is I have run a few scenarios for me to see which is the best discount for me to change to my customer. For me to see which discount is suitable, I have run a few scenarios on my discount sales. My discount sales at this is my range, and this is my range discount that I have put and the possible price. By using this, I have made a what if analysis for me to see the scenario for me to change my discount if I want to gain a good revenue or in best revenue for me to gain. Go to data and we run what if analysis on the data table. Analysis on the scenario manager, and then this is the scenario that I have put using this retail the range retail price and retail discounted that I have put, and this is the scenario name, and the changing sale is I change for 25%. This is I change, and then I click OK, and this is the range of percent that I want to put, which is 10%. And I click OK, and I have to change all the detail before I go to the summary. And this is the result. As you can see, for my current before this, the percent is at 25%, and the revenue is on 6,524. So if I want to increase my revenue, I need to go up to 30% and above. So I choose 35%, which is I can gain my revenue up to 7,554 ringgit 40 cents. I can also up to 50%, but I think the best way is to 35% is enough for me to give to my customer the discount. Next is my second scenario. My second scenario is I'm trying to change my inventory. My inventory, my intermediate markdown, and my clearance markdown, for me to know whether by changing these three my revenue will increase or not. I have run my second scenario for me to see whether by changing these three it can help me to regain to increase my revenue. It also the same. I need to use what if analysis for me to know which scenario for me to see which scenario can help me in increases my revenue. This is all the data I have insert, and I will click summary for me to see the second scenario, and this is the result after I made the second scenario, which is this is my current with 250 inventory, 25% of intermediate discount, and 50% of clearance discount. This is my current revenue, which is 6,524. If you can see that I have insert my review between 120 150 and the discount price is based on the retail price that I have put here, and it shows that after I increase I decrease my inventory and I increase my clearance sale. It shows that 50% of my clearance sales and 80% of my 50% of my intermediate sales and 80% of my clearance sales on 150 inventory. It will give me a revenue up to 6,708 ringgit 80 cents. So 50% of clearance. This is the best best way for me to change in my markdown pricing if assumption if I want to gain a good revenue on my business. Okay, next is outsourcing decision model. In this model, I want to know whether the best way for me to run this business is whether outsource or produce for my own. First is the data, and the data is as always is based on the assumption. At the first is manufacture in-house, which is fixed cost. Fixed cost is at 450 ringgit, while the unit variable cost is at 30 ringgit 11 cents. As for the purchase from the supplier, is the unit cost is at 30 ringgit, and the production volume is on 600 units. Total manufacturing cost is at RM 8,316, while the total purchase cost is at 18,000, which is the price that I need to pay to my supplier if I decided to outsource my products. And next is the cost difference between manufacture and purchase is at negative 9,684 ringgit. Based on the IF function, the best decision for me is I'm doing my manufactures. If I decided to outsource my business, I need to change the unit cost. I need to change the unit cost of purchase from the supplier. I need to do a goal 6 on what if analysis for me to know which price for me to get from the supplier to outsource my product. First is what if analysis, goal 6, and set sell. Sell that I want to set is the cost of difference between manufacture and purchase. And the value is 300. The reason why I put 300 is for me, I think that the difference between outsource and manufacture for me to outsource my product is 300 and above. As for by changing sales is I'm changing the sales of the unit cost purchase from the supplier, and then I can click OK. And the price, as you can see, the unit cost that I need to gain for me to outsource my product is on 13 ringgit and 33 cents for me to outsource my product to the supplier. For me to outsource the products, and I can gain the cost difference is on 300. My decision whether I want outsourcing or manufacture is I choose to manufacture due to, if you see on the outsourcing decision model for the outsourcing, I see that if I want to outsource my product, I need to gain from the supplier for 13 ringgit 36 cents. So for me, I think that it's very hard for me to ask for the supplier on this price. So for me to manage my business, is better for me to make a manufacture by myself compared to outsourcing from the supplier. What I think on my assumption is, I think that my assumption is not valid due to, if you see in my profit model best scenario, that I need to revise back my assumption up to 30 ringgit for unit price per kg. Before this, my assumption is at 28 ringgit, so I need to revise my unit price to 30 ringgit if I want to achieve my revenue on 13,000 and my profit best revenue on 7,000. Next is on my worst scenario, I also need to revise my profit model is based on the profit model based scenario, I need to revise my unit price, which is from 26 ringgit up to 27 ringgit. And the demand also need to be increased from the 150 up to 220. For me, I think that I can achieve to 220 due to it's only for me to more on advertisement on my product. So I thought that I can achieve to 220 for my worst scenario on the demands. Other than that, I need to increase my intermediate discount up to 35% based on the scenario that we made at for first the scenario. You can see that for me to gain a good a decrease on my revenue, I need to increase my intermediate price my intermediate discount also. So I thought that by using the scenario on markdown pricing, I need to revise my discount up to 35% for me to gain a good result on my discount revenue and also my revenue. That's all for me. Thank you.